But in terms of suspensions and things like that, you obviously see a lot. You would probably see a lot of suspensions. I've seen them in the past. So in terms of like when people open an eBay account or when they're opening a new eBay account, are we still seeing a lot of like those suspension emails? Because I heard a while back that basically out of however many accounts eBay are created on eBay every day, like just a certain amount, eBay will just purge those accounts. They'll just get rid of them because they don't fall in line. They don't tick all the boxes. And that could be, I don't know, that could be my next door neighbor who's a legit person on eBay, just opens an eBay account, gets suspended. Why is that happen? What's eBay looking at? What's the reason?
Okay, first of all, like I will give you a fresh example. Like 2 weeks ago, eBay was taking Israel country and remove all the new accounts that was made under 30 days. They just put a block on every account that was made under 30 days. Why they do this? Because they wanted to see who are calling to eBay. They wanted to see who are verify the account, and they understood that there is a lot of robotics account, stealth accounts that was made. Like for example, I have a customer who got suspended with like 45 accounts in 1 hour. It was like 10 p.m. and he got to eBay and was seeing his accounts falling one after one. And when I connect another person, an Israeli customer, and he told me the same way, the same thing happened to him. New accounts got suspended within 1 hour. And it was not like 1, 2 or something like that. It was like a really high amount of accounts that got suspended. So the people that got suspended, a lot of them was having a new accounts, really fresh accounts. So some of them was not calling to eBay and go ahead and open a new account on family member or buying a stealth account from a supplier. So they was doing a really big cleanup in Israel. I don't really understand why. I talked with several of agents and they also was not giving me the same answer. It was like I think it was like a month that was opening a lot of new accounts, and eBay metrics was detecting this, that there is a lot of opening on Israel and new accounts. And this is why they placed it. This is what I'm thinking. Again, I talked with a lot of representatives that are in touch with me, and we are figuring stuff when it comes to really problematic stuff like this, like when it comes to a big update or something like that. So to understand seriously the situation. So there was not giving me a straightforward answer and was explaining me that it's because it's new account. They was placing this suspension only because this account was under 30 days. And it's even not regarding your metrics, and it's even not regarding your feedbacks or defects or any other relative situation. They just do this. This is why in the beginning I explained that eBay have your control in your account and they will do whatever they want eventually. They can go ahead and update tomorrow with a new policy that will change the game to 90% of the dropshippers. So when it comes to a new suspension, first suspension, we will call this, in Israel for the last 6 months, we didn't have first suspension. Accounts that was made, it was go ahead and sell. And if you are going and breach the account, you will probably get suspended after a couple of weeks, or MC011 after several of weeks or months. But they was not giving the first suspension verification. Also, I don't know why, and maybe this is also the answer what happened 2 weeks ago, because of the way of Israeli accounts was worked. I know that in a global way, the first suspension is still active, and it's still a way that eBay checking the account if it's a human account and it was a personal account, and the questions that they asking you when you calling to eBay are similar to each customer. What you are doing inside eBay, what you are going to sell inside eBay, who is your supplier, and how many days you will ship the item, and what careers and such. So
this is one is always a strange one to me. Okay, so not every, I don't know whether it's they get it everywhere outside of the UK, but sometimes in the UK you can just not get a first suspension at all, and everything is fine, and you work very slow with the account, and everything is okay. The first suspension email, however, if you do get it, it always says this suspension is permanent.
yeah.
Okay. Now, I never understand this about eBay. It's just like you saying about the agents all having a different story. I think it's like, must be crazy in the eBay office. But why is it they say it's a permanent suspension? I think I actually seen a variation of the email quite recently where they actually did ask the person to
Verify.
in. But that suspension email, they say it's permanent, so a lot of people will just give up at that point.
Yeah.
Why do you think eBay does that instead of saying, actually, Mr. Michael, why don't you call in and verify your information?
I think it's because we actually don't know how many accounts creating in same day in the global market. I don't think it's a small amount. Like, for example, if we will take eBay metrics and we'll see like how many customers and how many sellers was 10 years ago, we will see that the metrics is going high and high and high, always high. So it means that every day there is a new accounts, and this is the way that eBay want to work. eBay placed the suspension for the person to understand that the account is suspended forever. But actually, if you are going and searching in Google, what you can do, you will find an answer that you need, first of all, to call to eBay and to understand what happened, how, why, and stuff like that. eBay have, as I mentioned, a black and white rules. They have working by policies, they're working by strict way of work, and this is the way that they remove maybe the high amount of accounts that was creating in same day. They must to have some control, because if it will not be any control like this, I think it will go crazy. Like, for example, a person can open in the same day 20 accounts. A person can open in the same day 50 accounts. This it's possible because people are doing this. So, for example, if it's one person who opened a lot of accounts like that, so think how many accounts will created in the same day. So this is the way that they are working. The first suspension was not like, I think it was come up like 2-3 years ago. This is the first time that was hearing about first suspension. This is how eBay illuminate accounts and remove accounts that, like, for example, if the person is not serious and he come to do a playground in eBay, so if he will get this suspension message of a permanent message, probably he will give up. he will not continue because he will see like, yeah, I'm here in 2 days, so I will not proceed with this.
Yeah. So like a legit person would want to question that.
Yeah.
Like, why am I suspended? You know, let me speak to someone.
Yeah.
You know, what's the issue here? Like you say, eBay have some very, very black and white rules, which is great because we can say, okay, these are the rules. This is how I treat a metric. This is how I treat a late delivery, and all these other things. And then on the other side, they have very not so transparent rules. So this is why, you know, the first suspension, it's like we don't really know why they're doing it, what criteria they're using, but we know that it's something. So that kind of brings us on to the MC011, the Grim Reaper, the big one that people fear. They see their listings getting removed, and then it's only a matter of time before they get the dreaded email. We don't know exactly what causes the MC011, but perhaps you can tell us a little bit about, first of all, what is the MC01 suspension, and what do you think is the root cause of that, or the most common cause for the MC011?
Okay, so first of all, MC011 is a restriction. It's very important to understand. It's a thing that probably will happen to the account eventually. If it's not, if you have best metrics, if you have a best way of work, probably after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, something will show up. Okay?
It's always on the cards. I feel like when I tell people this, they don't believe me, but it's kind of like, it's like, if you're drop shipping, especially, you're going to get this restriction. If you're a normal seller just selling things, you may not get it, but I've also seen
it's happening to people that are not doing drop shipping also.
So the first thing is, I think you shouldn't be afraid, but also you want to be in the best position to take it forward. So sorry for interrupting, but
no, it's fine. It's totally okay. So first of all, why it's happening? If it's something that will trigger from your account, the first thing, it's a drop shipping way. Okay. Also, I saw a lot of people that's selling stuff from home and also get it. It's not a black and white. So this is something that we need to understand. The several reasons that it's happening. First thing, it's jumping too high. It's a fast growth. When we grow too fast, eBay system will detect it, and they will want to see proofs and to see verification from your side. The second thing is a high return rate or high defect rate or poor metrics. This is something that also can detect with MC011. The third thing, it's multiple shipping locations, because people in eBay, most of the sellers in eBay will put one shipping location, and eventually they ship from several shipping locations. So this is manipulate also the system, and also a reason to get an MC011. In the general way, this is not something that you need to afraid of, but this is something that you need to understand that it will happen. Because, like, for example, in my country, every year I need to go to IRS and to show proofs on my work. Exactly the same with eBay. They want to see proofs to your work. They want to see from where you, first of all, they want to see that all the orders that you are providing is delivered. This is the first thing that you get on MC011. This is the first message that you get. They asking you to make sure that all your tracking numbers showing delivered, and they was updated with the tracking numbers. There is no one order without tracking number. this is the way that showing that you are serious to eBay, and this is the way that they will go to the next step with you. It also maintain they asking in the same message of the tracking number, they asking you to close all the cases and close all the returns. And if you have any fees that not paid, also this is something that they asking. After you did this all, you need to reply to eBay message and to explain that you did this all. You can reply to the same message that the tracking number was asked. The second step that eBay will send you, in 99%, they will ask you documentation proofs. First of all, they will want your identity card, license driver, or passport. Second, they will ask a proof of your merchandise, from where you got your items from, to see actual the most of the common things that people are doing Amazon, they can't really send Amazon invoices because Amazon, it's not something that eBay support. So the person who will sell from Amazon, it will be a problem for him. But this is also something that always can be resolved. For example, I will give a small solution to this. If a person buying and selling from a retailer like Amazon, he can go ahead and buy some items in credit card on AliExpress, and the same items that he actually sold. It's not really hard to find. And then he can show to eBay proof of merchandise from AliExpress. This is something that's working because eBay is allowing to do drop shipping from Alibaba or AliExpress. For them, it's not a retailer. So you can go ahead and do this. Eventually, the highest success rate will be with a private supplier invoice. It will show that you are actually serious with your work, and it will show to eBay that you are following the guidelines and the policies, and you actually own this stock. So this is something that's really positive if you are sending this kind of invoices. This is what I'm doing. I'm working with a private supplier, and he is providing any solution to this. So, for example, if there is an items that need to be for invoice, the customer is paying to this company, and they are providing an invoice exact with the same items that needed. So this is also it's a legal way. It's IRS confirm, so it's not a problem. The third thing that eBay will ask, it's a proof of address. Actually, we found the best way is to send them a bank statement, because also it will show a proof of address, and also it will show in the most of the cases that the invoice was actually paid by us. And it will show that the docs that we sent are real. So this is something that we will send this on set to eBay. There is a link in the message in the MC011 when you can upload the docs. The process time will be 2-3 days maximum, and they will give you an answer. As I mentioned from the beginning, this is my actual service. This is what I'm doing daily, resolving this stuff. Until today, I saw a lot of services providers and stuff like that. Nobody working like we do. We have our special way of work. And this is why we have so many success rates, so many testimonies and feedbacks. People can find them on YouTube or any other places, on Facebook. The two ways that can happen after MC011, it's a reinstatement or indefinitely suspension. The reinstatement can be also divided by two ways. The first way, it will be reduce the limits. The second way, it will be a normal limits, and you can go ahead and sell like before. If eBay decided to reduce the limits, it need to show you that you need to relax. First of all, you need to go ahead and not work like you did in the last month. Okay, so this is something that need to be alerted by you. They say that, yeah, your docs are good, your metrics is fine, but we still want you to relax on your account and to maintain a safe way of work. The other part that the account will go to suspension, it will be very, very, very hard to reinstate it. It actually have 5-10% of reinstated with agent. By phone, maybe they will give you another time to appeal, to send the docs. Also, we saw a lot of things in our work and experience, but if eBay give you to appeal again, don't appeal with the same docs. Don't appeal with the same way that you appeal. So, for example, if the account will be getting indefinitely suspended, if you are a good seller and if you have a lot of serious potential of work and you are serious with eBay, yeah, it will be a mess up with the items that was deleted and the history and stuff like that. But we need to understand that in actual business, also things can happen, and even worse. Like, for example, if it's a business that have inside the mall, there is a lot of things that can happen and can also be a very serious thing. My most of the customers, if they're getting a suspension, they will go ahead and buy an account or will make an account. This will be, or maybe 2 or 3. It will show to them that they need to be more serious with eBay. So it means that maybe not to put all the eggs in one sack and to separate the work. And when you have a lot of accounts, your way of work is differently, and you can go ahead and be more serious with that. And if one account gets suspended, the other one, if you're working properly and opening the account properly, probably will not suffer. So this is the way of handling this stuff.
It's about spreading the risk, really, isn't it? And especially with those things that are growth related. You know, if you get if I get 3 defects, for example, let's hope we don't get defects, of course, because they're obviously so easy to avoid. But let's say I get 3 defects on one store. That's going to have way more of a negative impact than if I get 1 defect across 3 stores or across 5 stores. And also, I feel we're not inclined to, if I'm working with 3 stores, for example, I can have the same amount of listings that I would do on one store, and they're not reaching all the high end of the seller limits.
Yeah.